Have you heard of the greatest theft in British history, which occurred when a group of men stormed Securitas? Is it true that this enormous heist is also known as the second largest robbery in history? But again, what's so exceptional about it? Who were the legends responsible for this massive heist? Don't go anywhere as we reveal the very details of this security robbery. When a group of guys broke into Securitas in Tonbridge and stole £53 million, it was the biggest theft in British history and the second largest in the world. And now, one of the guys behind it, a Southborough father, appears to be on his way out of prison after paying only £1 in restitution. Lee Russia, 48, is eligible for release after serving his minimum 15-year life term for the Tonbridge Securitas raid in 2006, despite receiving only £1 of the cash. Kent Live revisited the UK's most notorious robbery, which shocked the country. Colin Dixon, the manager of the Securitas Cash Centre in Vale Road, Tonbridge, was taken in February 2006 while driving his silver Nissan Elmira on the A249 in Stockbury. At around 6:30 p.m, he was pulled over to the side of the road by what appeared to be an unmarked police car with blue lights behind the front grille. When a man dressed in high-visibility clothing approached him, he assumed it was a police officer and got into the car when asked. He would soon discover, though, that the car was not a police car, nor the man in high visibility a police officer. Dixon had in reality been kidnapped by a vicious gang carried out the world's second largest money theft. He was driven along the M20 to the West Mailing bypass before being shackled and forced into a white van and carried to a farm in Staplehurst. Dixon's wife and an 80-year-old boy were also kidnapped at their Herne Bay house after answering the door to men disguised in police uniforms. The men convinced the family that he had been in a car accident before transporting them to the same farm where Dixon was being held. They continued to keep Dixon at gunpoint, threatening him and his family if he did not cooperate. The family was taken to the Securitas facility in Tonbridge around 1 a.m. on February 22nd. The robbers, who were armed with AK-47s, shotguns, handguns, a scorpion, and balaclavas, bound 14 members of the depot's workers. The burglar escaped after a scary 2 hours, about 2:45 a.m., leaving the staff, Colin, his wife, and their son in cash cages. Fortunately, one of the staff members had a key to unlock the cage she was confined in and was able to liberate the others, but it took half an hour for the staff members to raise the alarm. Fortunately, no one was injured by the time police arrived. But who were the persons in charge of the robbery? Following a trial in 2007, Stuart Loyal, Roger Coutts, Lee Russia, and Jetmir Bukpapa were all sentenced to life in prison for their roles in the Securitas depot robbery. Emir Heists was also sentenced to 20 years in prison, while former MMA fighter Lee Murray was later sentenced to 25 years. During the long police investigation, at least 36 arrests were made. Stuart Royal, a used car salesperson from Langley near Maidstone, had a reputation for ripping people off. Watering Bury Car Sales was founded by him and John Fowler, who was charged but eventually absolved of any role in the scheme. He claimed to be a former Special Boat Service member, however, there is no record of him ever serving in the SPS. Roger Coutts, a married father of one from Bexley Heath, ran the North Fleet Transit Centre van garage near Gravesend. Coutts was prosecuted after £9,655,000 of the stolen money was discovered in a car park he rented in Wheeling, the greatest amount of money recovered from the raid. He was seen on camera tying up 9 employees at the Securitas depot. Leah Russia was a Tunbridge Wells roofer and part-time driver. When his residence was examined, a Securitas depot plan showing his fingerprints was discovered, as well as a video of a reconnaissance operation to the home of depot manager Colin Dixon, who had been kidnapped before to the attack. Police discovered £8.6 million in cash in a lock-up garage rented by Russia's cousin, as well as a rifle and ammunition in his shed. Jetmir Bukpapa, a Kosovan Albanian, became implicated in the conspiracy due to his acquaintance with Leah Russia. His role in the crime was to plan a reconnaissance of depot manager Colin Dixon's home. Bukpapa, the son of an engineer and a teacher, had moved to Britain 9 years before the attack in search of a better life, and he had married an English woman he met at a gym. He resided in Tonbridge and worked as a doorman while also selling cannabis for a living. In a coffee cafe, he met co-offender Heists. Amir Heists was a Securitas depot insider who provided key inside information to the gang by filming the inside of the depot with a tiny covert camera attached to his belt. He entered the UK illegally from Albania in 1999 and left 5 years later after his asylum application was denied. Heist and Naj afterwards married an English woman and moved back to the UK in January 2005. He was from Craborough, East Sussex. Lee Murray is suspected to be the mastermind behind the theft. However, he was not imprisoned until June 1st, 2010 in Morocco. He was also a cage fighter and mixed martial artist who had previously lived in Sidcup and trained in London. 4 days after the Securitas Depot robbery, the career criminal and drug dealer fled to Morocco. Ringleader Murray and fellow gang member Paul Ellen wanted to live in Africa off the proceeds of the crime, and they spent thousands of pounds on aesthetic surgery for their companions. Murray's initial sentence was only 10 years, but it was later raised to 25. Ellen was extradited back to the UK when they were apprehended, and in October 2009, he was sentenced to 18 years in prison at Woolwich Crown Court, after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery, conspiracy to kidnap, and conspiracy to possess a handgun. Ellen pleaded guilty but denied ever being at the Tonbridge Depot on the day of the robbery or having any involvement in the kidnapping of the manager and his family. Dead sub Mick Judge stated at the time, "I'm pleased that Murray, who played a key role in the conspiracy to kidnap the Dixons and rob the depot, has now been held accountable." But how did the violent gang get caught? In February 2003, police tracked down a number of cars implicated in the crime, including a Parcel Force van suspected of being used in Dixon and his family's abduction. The van was discovered abandoned at the Hook and Hatchet Bar in Hucking, near Maidstone. A Volvo S60 and a red Vauxhall Vetra, both alleged to have been used in the abductions and disguised as unmarked police cars, were discovered near Leeds Castle. Colin Dixon's Nissan Elmira was also discovered in the parking lot of Deathling's Cog Horse Tavern. Kent police then recovered a white Ford Transit van from the Ashford International Hotel's parking lot. The vehicle was removed for forensic analysis, and it was discovered to contain £1.3 million in cash, as well as firearms, balaclavas, and body armor. Metal cages and packaging material, possibly used to carry the money, were discovered in a field near Detling. Later that month, forensic teams accompanied by armed police officers stormed a property in Southborough, and Kent police apprehended 2 males fleeing in a blue BMW 3 Series coupe on Marine Parade in Tankerton, near Whitstable. Police found the white 7.5-ton Renault Midland lorry allegedly used to transport the stolen money at an undisclosed location. An Elderton farm in the Staplehurst area was raided. In March 2006, John Fowler, the owner of Elderton Farm and a car salesman, was charged with conspiracy to rob Securitas as well as 3 counts of kidnapping, while Stuart Royal was charged with conspiracy to rob. An industrial depot in Welling was then raided, and an unknown amount of cash was discovered, prompting another arrest. More arrests were made, and £19.7 million in cash was collected. Lee Murray was the last person detained after 4 men were apprehended in a combined operation with Moroccan police at a retail center in Rabat's Souizi area. The group stole a total of £53,116,760 in banknotes from the cash depot. The only more lucrative cash robbery in history occurred when $1 billion was stolen from Iraq's central bank after the United States began bombing Baghdad in March 2003. Securitas compensated the Bank of England, who owned the money at the Securitas Depot, £25 million on the same day of the robbery. That comes to the end of the video. Hope you find it informative, and for more videos like this, do subscribe to our channel and click the like button. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.